Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I will be sharing my top 10 weight loss tips that are going to help you lose weight on a whole foods plant-based diet. So let's get into today's video. My tip number one is to understand calorie density. So what is a calorie density? Calorie density is how much calories that you are eating in a given amount of food per pound. So for example, if you eat a pound of potato chips that are about 2,600 calories per pound versus if you were to eat pound of apples, that's only about 326 calories per pound. So the idea behind calorie density is to eat high volume of food that contain far less calories compared to food that are calorically dense. I will leave the calorie density chart on the screen for you guys, and you can take a screenshot of this. And this is the way that you should be eating if you are trying to lose weight on this way of eating. You want to stick to food that are 600 to 700 calories per pound or less. And these are the foods that are going to be non-starchy vegetables, fruits, legumes, potatoes, oats, and rice. And occasionally you can incorporate some tofu or avocados as well, but they are a bit on a higher calorie density scale compared to the other foods. So I would really eat them occasionally if you are trying to lose weight. I will also encourage you to watch two videos. I will leave the details in the description box below. These videos are going to help you understand how calorie density works. One video is by Jeff Novick and the other video is by Chef AJ. I highly encourage you to take some time out of your day while you're going walking, or if you have some downtime, to watch these videos so that you can understand how calorie density works, because this is going to be a big part of your weight loss journey. And once you understand the core principles behind calorie density and how it works, it's going to make your weight loss journey that much easier, because you will be fully aware what type of foods to eat that are going to help you lose weight and what types of food that you should be avoiding in order to reach your weight loss goals. So please do take some time and understand what calorie density is. My tip number two is going to be stop drinking your calories. This means fruit juices, pops, soda, alcohol. I know you don't want to hear that. We all know that alcohol is not a health food, and when you do drink alcohol, you tend to make bad decisions, which leads to overeating. And also when you drink alcohol, your liver really has to work hard to get rid of alcohol from your body. So your body prioritizes on getting rid of alcohol first, and it stops all the fat loss functions in your body. So until your body fully gets rid of alcohol from your system, your fat loss will be put on hold. So alcohol doesn't help you at all when you are trying to lose weight. So if you can, try to eliminate or minimize drinking alcohol. I also encourage you to chew your food instead of drinking smoothies. I know smoothies are a bit controversial on this way of eating. Everyone is different, so you have to gauge what works for you. So for example, if you are the type who struggles to eat fruits and vegetables throughout the day, then maybe drinking a smoothie would be a good idea for you. I would be very mindful of what types of ingredients I put in my smoothies, because if you're adding nuts and seeds, then they are again extremely calorically dense, and your smoothies will end up very high in calories. And if you are also the type that drinks a smoothie and about 2 hours later you are hungry again, then maybe smoothies are not a good idea for you. But if smoothies are keeping you full and satiated for long periods of time, then go ahead and drink your smoothies. I know for me personally, smoothies don't work. I would rather eat my food, so I always tend to eat my oats with carrots or cauliflower rice in the morning instead of having smoothies. I will leave that up to you, so you go ahead and decide what works for you. If smoothies are working for you, then continue to enjoy them. If they are not, then I would switch to chewing your food. My tip number 3 is to build a 50-50 plate. So if you follow the Starch Solution way of eating, which is by Dr. John McDougall, he recommends eating a 50-50 plate. So visually you want to fill half of your plate with non-starchy vegetables and other half of your plate with starches. And starches could be white potatoes, sweet potatoes, oats, rice, beans, or legumes. Or your non-starchy vegetables are things like broccoli, kale, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, etc. Make this a rule, including your breakfast, to always have a 50-50 plate with either fruits or vegetables, or with vegetables. So that is why I like to add cauliflower rice, carrots, or sometimes even zucchinis to my morning oats. I really recommend you do the same, especially carrot and cauliflower rice are amazing to add to your oats. They taste great and you won't even taste cauliflower rice in your oats. But if you don't like that, then have a side of your steamed veggies or air fried veggies along with your oats. During your weight loss phase, it's really recommended that you incorporate vegetables to each of your meal. That is the way you should be eating if you are also maintaining your weight, because vegetables are low in calorie density and they really fill your stomach because they're full of fiber, water, and they help you feel satiated for far less calories compared to anything else. So always focus on building a 50-50 plate at every single meal. My tip number 4 is going to be watch out for added oils. I know oils are again very controversial. Not everyone likes to hear that, but oils are really high in calories. Oils are about 4,000 calories per pound, and 1 tiny tablespoon of oil is about 120 calories. So if you're adding oils to every single meal, which could be your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you are adding extra 400 to 500 calories every single day, and calories do add up, and we all know that it's far easier to eat less calories than to burn calories. So it's a smart idea to not add all these extra oils in your cooking and instead use water to saute your vegetables, or use non-stick frying pan, or even use light cooking sprays if you are really not able to eliminate oils from your diet completely. But eventually you should slowly work your way where you are not adding all these oils to your diet so that you can eat more volume of food to feel full. Oils also don't fill your stomach. You want to eat food instead of adding calories to your food. 1 tablespoon of oil is about 120 calories. So if you compare that to 1 pound of strawberries, for example, that is about 150 calories. Personally, I would choose strawberries, 1 pound of strawberries to eat, than adding that 1 tiny tablespoon of oil to my food, which is not going to help fill my stomach. So that is the idea behind not adding oils to your food. Not to mention, oils are not health food by any means. I can leave the details in the description box for you to read up some articles on why oils are not health food. So that is the reason why I choose not to eat oil, and I would recommend you to do the same thing if you are struggling to lose weight. My tip number 5 is to watch out for nuts, seeds, and nut butters. Yes, they are all healthy foods. I'm not telling you not to eat them, but I would be very cautious if you are trying to lose weight and you are adding nuts and nut butters to your meals, because they are extremely calorically dense and calories from these fats add up pretty quick. Calories from carbs are about 4 calories per gram versus calories coming from fat is about 9 calories per gram. I would personally watch out for all these extra added fats because calories do add up pretty quick. Same thing goes for dried fruit. Dried fruit is very high in calories. I will leave some of the examples on the screen for you to compare. For example, raisins is about 120 calories, and it's this tiny little amount of raisins, versus grapes are about 150 grams, and you are eating far more volume from grapes than the raisins. And grapes are full of fiber and they're full of water, and you want to make sure that you're eating things that are full of fiber and water, because that is what's going to help you feel full and satiated for far less calories for a long time. My tip number 6 is going to be minimize eating out. I know most people enjoy eating out, and it's part of our culture to go out and enjoy a meal with your family or friends. But if you are struggling to lose weight, I would be very careful about eating out, because restaurant foods are usually highly palatable and they are really full of fat and oil, and you tend to overeat on those foods. If you are eating out, I would be very mindful of what meals I am ordering. If you are going to be eating out, I highly encourage you to look up the menu online ahead of time so that you are prepared as to what type of meals you have the option of eating. If not, then I would just eat bit from home before going to the restaurant so that you don't overeat on high calorie foods. And it's also a great idea to order a salad with a dressing on the side and ask them if they can make the dressing without oils. That is going to help you save on a ton of calories. And this way you can still go out and enjoy your meal with your family or friends without feeling deprived, and also staying on track with your weight loss goals. My tip number 7 is going to be staying away from processed junk. So by processed foods, I mean chips, cookies, donuts, even vegan meats and vegan cheeses. Vegan cheeses and vegan meats are very high in calories because they are loaded with fats and oils. So if you are going to be eating them, I would eat them occasionally, and I would be very mindful of my portion sizes because we know that they are very high in calories. And if you are the type who struggle with strong willpower, then I highly encourage you to get rid of this processed junk from your kitchen, from your pantries, because guess what? As Chef AJ says, if it's in your house, it's in your mouth. So you want to make sure that you clean out your environment and get rid of all these foods that trigger you to overeat, so that you don't reach out for these types of foods when you are craving something. You want to make sure that your environment is clean so that you can succeed in your weight loss journey. Add some healthy snacks in the fridge so that when you are craving something, you reach for those healthy snacks. If you have a sweet tooth like I do, then make sure you make my sweet potato brownies. I have shared that recipe on my Instagram page, and that is only about 80 calories per piece, and it's going to help you satisfy your sweet tooth. That is what I do. I don't feel like I am depriving myself, but at the same time I am eating things that I am craving, but I am making a healthier version that are far less in calories and low in fat. So I highly encourage you to do the same. If you have sweet tooth, then make sure you check out tons of recipes that are on my Instagram page and on my website for your sweet tooth. My tip number 8 is do some sort of exercise. If not, at least go for a walk. Walking is very underrated. You can burn tons of calories by walking, and if you can, try to minimize being inactive throughout the day, and make sure be very mindful of your sitting around throughout the day. Get up and move your body every hour if possible. Go for mini walks throughout the day. Take some stairs. Whatever it is that you can do to keep your body moving throughout the day is going to help you tremendously. And at the end of the day, if you have the time, then go for a brisk walk for at least 30 minutes. And if you do like exercising, then I highly encourage you to add some sort of strength training into your routine, because that's going to help you build some muscle mass and increase your bone density, which is going to help you age gracefully and also fire up your metabolism. As a personal trainer, I highly recommend adding some sort of strength training to your routine if you can. I highly encourage you to at least do 2 to 3 strength training sessions per week if you can. I share tons of exercise videos on my Instagram page, so you can check them out. And if you're new to your fitness journey, you don't know where to begin, then I also offer personalized training program that's going to meet your needs and are going to fit in your daily lifestyle. If that is something you are interested in, you can check that out on my website. I will leave the link for you in the description box. My tip number 9 is to drink lots of water and make sure to get a good night's sleep. I believe these two tips are highly underrated. We all know that a good night's sleep is essential for recovery and also to feel energized the next day. You probably notice on the days that you get less sleep, you are more likely to feel tired and you don't want to participate in any sort of physical activities, and also your appetite is far more up, and you usually tend to eat high calorie dense foods when you are running low on sleep. So sleep is essential in your weight loss journey, so make sure you prioritize sleep. If you struggle to get a good night's sleep, then make sure you have some sort of nightly routine to help you wind down and relax. These can be things like warm bath, drinking a tea, or turning off your devices, reading a book, doing some sort of meditation or yoga, whatever it is that's going to help you relax and get a good night's sleep. And also, I cannot emphasize enough to make sure that you are drinking at least 2 to 3 liters of water a day. Start your day with a big glass of water before you have your tea or coffee. That is what I do. And then throughout the day, you want to make sure that you are drinking enough water. If you struggle to drink water, then make sure you keep water next to you so that you don't forget to drink water throughout the day. My last tip is going to be try to reduce your stress. I know it's unavoidable for most of us, but stress plays a big role when it comes to weight loss, because when we are very stressed out, our cortisol levels are very high, especially for women, and weight loss becomes that much harder. So do your best and try to adapt many different techniques that are going to help you de-stress and relax. These can be, again, things like walking, yoga, meditation, or deep breaths, or even stretching. So be mindful when you are feeling stressed and just take short breaks or mini breaks to help you feel relaxed. These are all the tips that I have for you. I hope you found them helpful. These are the tips that really helped me on my fat loss journey, and I really hope that they will help you on your weight loss journey as well. Please let me know in the comments if you found this video helpful. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys very soon on my next one.